Alright, so I thought what I would do is I'd show you how I have a basic game camera turned into a up-close wildlife camera. This is great for, say, putting around bird feeder, where a traditional game camera's focus point's a little bit further away. With a few modifications you can make that so the camera is got a close focal point. There's a few things that it doesn't do well when you do that, but we'll talk about those here shortly. So the first piece is just a simple tripod metal one. You can buy these on Amazon for about 14-15 bucks. Here's one that's a little bit different. It actually has a clamp. You could put it on, say, a post, something along those lines, crank it down. And this one has a ball head on it, so you could set it every which way. So these are a little bit more expensive. The ball head's probably about 20 bucks. This clamp, I think, is probably maybe 10. I'm not sure, so don't hold me to that one. And then you've got just a simple little ball head. I think these are like 4 or 5 bucks a piece. I think they ship in packs of 2, and it would just screw into the bottom super easy. This one, you would see you'd have a plate, so you could pop that out and change it. So we got those and those. A rubber band. This is the simplest, easiest thing. The ones I really like are the ones that come with like celery or produce at the grocery store. They're nice, bigger, more durable. Then the other thing is you'll need this game camera. Different models exist. I like the Browning. They're not that expensive. This one's a no glow, but you could get by with having a glow because you're not really going to be operating these at night. So this one has a little screen. It's handy. So yeah, that's super easy to set up. Probably anywhere from 150. Maybe you can even get these a little bit older ones for a little cheaper. They'll do just as good. Again, you're not going to be shooting award-winning National Geographic stuff. And the last thing is going to be your lenses. Sorry for the Velcro there. This is also from Amazon. I think it's probably 20 bucks. You have 4 different lenses you can use. I use I believe it's the +2 here. So it tells you on the bottom. So yeah, that's the +2. So that's the one that's got the most use. They come with 4. You get a 1, a 2, a 4, and a 10. So that's kind of your magnification. So there's the basic gear. Again, probably could all be built for under 200 bucks. That might be a little bit steep. There's other options you can come up with. You could skimp maybe on game camera, get you something a little cheaper option. This is about the best tripod because it goes low on the ground, that you're probably gonna use. You don't have to worry about a lot of stuff blowing over. It's got some heft to it. I would recommend just getting that ball head. This is a fancier setup. I'm made from a bunch of other bits and pieces I have. So really, that's your basic kit right there. That's what you will need to make your feeder cam. So now what I thought I'd do is I'd show you the difference between the two different lenses that would be the most likely ones you would use. They're going to be the +2 and the +4. The +10 is a really super close one, and the +1, it's marginal at what it does. But the 2 and the 4 are probably the ones that you could use the most. So just a quick example, I'll start with the 2, and we're going to hold it up to the front of the lens of the camera here, just so you can get an idea. So there's kind of it doesn't look like much as far as things go. We're talking about a distance of maybe 10 inches here. Here's going to be the 4. So when you find that sweet spot in the lens, you can see a little bit of magnification. The key thing is, though, what it does is it brings the focus point close. So on a game camera, again, your focus point is a good ways out. So everything close with a game camera will be blurry. And you'll see this when we set up some examples with the game camera footage here in a minute. So again, you can kind of, even if I just kind of do this little number, you can see how big the birds get as we pull away. So those are going to be the lenses. And now I'll show you how to set it up. This takes just, I tell you what, it just takes seconds. It's that simple. All right, so let's do the basic build now. There's the tripod, quick simple mount. You have the screw, just thread it on there. Piece of cake. Now you got the bottom plate here. We'll save that for next, or here in a minute. Now we have our Browning game camera. Set to off. You know all the components of it. So now we take our rubber band and put it just right under. This is the lens, so keep it just right under that. And then find your choice. Like I said, I like using the number 2. Just feed it. It can rest on there. If you use different game cameras, you're going to have to come up with different attachment methods. Again, rubber bands are nice. Zip ties, not so much. This makes it so I can easily take it on and off, because it will get dirty. It's not integrated in there like the other lenses, so you will have to take it off time to time and clean it, unless you have one that covers up enough that you could possibly glue it on. I'm not going to recommend that though, because water gets in there, then you're stuck. Okay, so don't put the lens over the motion detector. That's that part there. If you do this, something along that line, it will not work. You won't be having anything cross the motion detection range, and your lens is really in that sweet center spot. That's where the best focus happens, is right there in the middle. The glass with its concave edge to it, concave towards the back of the camera, or back of the lens. The reason I say this is a pretty good setup, but it won't work at night, is if the camera was to activate at night, sense something, this is where the flash for night photography is. Low glow LEDs, on this camera you won't see them, but what would happen is these, that one, and those, they're going to flash, and it's going to reflect off the glass. So what you'll have is you're going to have a washed out photo of just pure white, or white with it fading to the black at the top. So you can't really rely on it like that. Leaving it out in the rain, also not a great idea. This will trap water behind it. Acts as a great little funnel to get water in little spots. So just something to keep in mind. If you're going to leave it outside for a lot of the weather, you might as well just kind of put it under something protected from rain and whatnot. You'll find having a big piece of glass on the front, it gets dirty a lot more. So you might have a little sprinkle of rain, then the wind blows, and then you'll see it'll have a lot of dust on it. So having it like that makes it easy to take off and clean on a regular basis. And last, you just find the threaded hole there, and you are ready to go. Now that the game camera is set up inside here with some really good light, I'll show you how we get the focus point. We take a tape measure and we lay it out in front of the game camera. And we kind of put the beginning of that tape somewhere right near the base. And we put the camera at a little bit of an angle. That way when the numbers read, you'll be able to see what's the sharpest and where it starts to get a little bit of blur in the numbers. What we'll do now is I'll show you a frame from the actual game camera I'm using, this Browning here. And that way you can see where the sweet spot, or at least kind of what you want to call maybe the range of this camera is. Looking at this frame from the game camera, you can see that the numbers between 24 and 19 appear to be the sharpest. Knowing that, the range that you would put your bird feeder is somewhere within that distance from the main lens. If you look beyond the 24-inch mark, the numbers on the tape measure start to lose their sharpness. Keep that in mind because the same will be true of any videos you take with your game camera beyond those ranges. Okay, so here's the setup I used today. I have it, you can see, clamped to one of the porch railings there. Here's the game camera set up, trail cam. And so I've got it set looking over at this little bowl of food. So some things to remember is you really need your food to be a stationary feeder. Otherwise the movement of just the feeder by itself moving around is quite likely to trip several activations of the game camera without anything there. So you have a lot of empty video that you'll watch and find there's no birds because just a little breeze was blowing the feeder around and the camera was capturing it. So good variety of some nuts, corn, peanuts, sunflower seeds. But we're going to add a few peanut butter balls. The birds really seem to like that. And we'll just let this sit for maybe an hour or two. So the distance there is about 24 inches, and we found that with the +2 in our setup that's about right. So if you remember, we used a kind of like a tape measure on an angle, let the activations trip, and kind of got an idea where that sweet spot was in focus. And the video on the left shows what the game camera looks like just straight up without any alteration. However, this shot now with the flicker on the right shows just how crystal clear a little modification of the lens can make. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial on how to make a trail cam with a simple trail camera and about $40 worth of parts. I hope to see some of your great shots after you make this camera and set it up near your feeder. Be sure to hashtag Montana Bird Guy. I'd love to see what you guys are making out there.